The coaches are in. When you need a timely, transparent friend, tune into the coaches are in. Talking career, business, health, and wealth. You got a friend now. Into the coaches are in. With authenticity, come on, let's take a seat and tune in.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up?
What is up? We are back for episode 7. Episode 7 of season 3, and we're excited to be here getting to you, whether you're tuning in live or watching the replay. This is the coaches are in.
We're here.
We're here. Now, just in case you're tuning in for the first time and you don't know who we are, we're going to introduce ourselves to you and then we'll jump right on in. I'm Dr. Sharita Weatherspoon. I'm the creator of The Coaches Are In. I am also an alignment coach and operations strategist, and I work with aspiring Black women entrepreneurs to help them launch, grow, and scale a profitable business.
All right. Well, I am Allison Garrett, and I am your behavioral interventionist. And I work with women who struggle with knowing what has them stuck, and I help them break free without years of therapy.
And I'm Dr. Malika, and I'm the confidence coach here, but I'm also the CEO of the Speaker LLC and the creator of Go Be Great and Be Nothing Less motivational apparel. More importantly, on this show, I really try to help folks discover their best self and show up in that way on purpose.
Amen, amen, and amen.
Not on accident.
That's right, on purpose.
All right, so let's go right on into our viewer question. I think this is, I think it's our favorite part of the show, but we also love our expert segments too.
I know.
Right, I
It's
know.
kind of split. We're
It's
split.
sort of a mix. Yeah.
Because
we like to help people. We like to help people.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So this week's question is kind of deep.
Okay.
It's kind of deep. Took me a little bit back when I read it, and I'm kind of like, okay. But I've also, I think at different times in my life, maybe I felt this way too. So we're gonna see what we have to say here, how we can help this system out. All right. So she says, I feel like no matter what I do, things just don't work out for me. It's as if I have a dark cloud following me around, and I keep wondering if I'm cursed or just destined for bad things. Why does it seem like negativity always finds me?
Look, we're like,
yeah.
Been there. That's why I'm like,
yeah, definitely been there.
So who's gonna tap in on this one first?
I think I'll start because I mean I can relate, and I also am going to come at it from my personal experience, just in case this is her. Okay, so when you start to feel like a dark cloud is following you and negativity, and it's always something, we don't like to think or admit or even want to believe that it is us. Right? There's a period in my life where I was really feeling like nothing ever worked out for me. But when I started to really unpack that, I created the situations that I was in. So just maybe some of the situations that you find yourself in, you've invited in some way. Now, I know there's a lot of things that happen to us that are out of our control, but I think it's worth a thought to consider, why is it always happening to you, right? And it's not so much about you attracting it. I'm going to say that. It may be the fact that you entertain it, right? So I understand how this works, right? And what you pay attention to and you focus on grows. So even this question is loaded with negativity, and you're inviting us to all come to your pity party, possibly. So when you have that kind of a story, it's not like the dark cloud is following you, but you're entertaining things that will allow you to continue in that negative cycle. So as things start coming up, you start to say things that agree with that negative situation. And then you'll find yourself in more situations that are going to confirm how you believe that it's always showing up. So it's sort of like when somebody says, "Oh, I knew it was going to happen." Well, that's kind of why it did. Dark clouds always follow me. Well, it probably is. So you got to get out of the idea that something is happening to you, and just a simple shift. You can even start to think like, how could this be happening for me? Which what I started to recognize and realize, like, yeah, a lot of things happen, but if I keep saying that a dark cloud is over me and negativity follows me and I can't get myself out of this rut, guess what? I'm going to stay in it. Some of us need to stop inviting people to the pity party, because it gets comfortable, right? We get comfortable with complaining and saying that all these things are happening, and just acknowledge at some point, what is it that you can own in the situation that may be insight onto why these things keep happening to you. And that's just the hard part about it. Now, there's some things that happen that you can't control, but I know for me, when I really started to look back, I created a lot of the situations and then wanted a reason or something else to be why it was following me, when really I was inviting it in and entertaining it. Sorry.
Wow. That was not what I thought it was.
Oh no, it can't all be flowers and rainbows and unicorns and roses. Like, sometimes you gotta hear it like it really is. And that's what somebody told me, and finally broke that pattern, that interrupt, and got me on a better path.
So what my question, sis, what do you want? What do you want? And so, I want to go back to, I like to always go back to some childhood things, what you are accustomed to, what you might have heard, what you've been around. And so now I want to know, what do you want? How are you showing up? Are you showing up in the way that you want to live? Do you want to continue like this? Because that would be my first. Do you want to continue in what you see as this negative cloud? Because there is a way to come out of that. So I would ask the questions, how did you grow up? Where did this come from? Is this what you've heard? Is the negativity what you've experienced? Because that can provide an easy path to some negativity as well. Because that's all you'll look for.
Right.
That's all you'll expect. And then I would ask the question, so tell me what you want. Because you sound like you don't want the cloud. You want you want something better. So then let's figure out ways in which we can move to that better place. So I guess I don't have a lot, but I think that's where I would start. And then really, I'm always, again, a firm believer of life and death is in the power of the tongue. What are you saying about you? What are some things we need to unlearn, undo? What are some mindsets that you have and some patterns that might be kind of like you said, Coach Allison, that might even be leading you down that path? What are ways that you're contributing? And so how can we create some new behaviors, some new patterns, some new thought processes that we will have to practice and put into use? It's going to be intentional. It's not just going to come because this is what you're used to, but this is where we want to be. And that requires some intentionality. Like, you have to be intentional about what you're saying, about who you're with, who are you around. And admitting that what you might have learned growing up or might have heard, I don't know, is wrong.
Right. No better way to say it.
That's not what we want for us. That might have been what was good for grandma. But that's not what we want in 2024 for us. We want something different. So we're going to have to do different. We're going to have to respond different. And I would work with her on building her confidence. Who are you? What do you deserve?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you believe that? Maybe not today, but let's work on some things to help you, to help empower you so that you can begin to believe this thing and build that thing up in you so that so you can recognize when that negativity is coming and you can do some things that will help you say, whoop, Right.
Shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So those are, I guess, kind of would start with those questions and working with her there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. So my initial thought when I read the question was, do you like rainy days?
I don't.
That's good.
Right. But because Coach Allison stepped on her toes, I'm gonna step back.
Okay. Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
Went there, honey. She was like,
I think maybe she, those toes probably hurt right now. So I'm gonna go a little softer now, since Allison said what she said. So
it's on you.
All right, bring it back. Bring it home. Bring it home.
Like I said, there have been points in my life where I've kind of felt the same way, where it's just like things are not working out for me. Anything I try, I'm not getting the outcome that I want. But in retrospect, I can honestly say that I didn't do my part to get the outcome that I wanted. I might have set the goal, I might have done a little bit, but as soon as it got challenging, I fell back. It's like give up. I wasn't consistent, whatever the case will lead to me not getting the thing that I wanted, to things not always working out for me the way that I want them to. So I had to take my responsibility in that. The other piece that I think is, you kind of talked about your belief system. You can choose to have faith in the thing that you want to have faith in. So right now it sounds like she is believing in and for the negative possibility rather than the positive possibility. It works on both sides. It works for you and it can work against you, depending on what you're believing in. So she needs to shift her mindset around what will she choose to believe in and for. And that in of itself can move her to behave differently and to show up differently, because she has a different expectation of how things will go for her. And then I think it's controlling what you can, because some situations you just, you're not in 100% control of everything that's going on, and you certainly can't control other people. So for the things that you do have control over, 100% yourself.
Right.
Do what you got to do with those things, to move your agenda forward towards the thing that you're actually looking for, because that will give you the likelihood of getting the outcome that you want. The things that are just kind of random, like you don't know what this person's going to do. You don't know what resources are going to be there. Like, determine that you're going to make it work for the things that you have within your control to do. And then let's see what happens. Because I'm sure that in those cases where you really show up 100%, you put forth all of the effort, you are consistent in what you need to do, and you are believing for the positive outcome, that you will begin to see things shift in your life.
Yeah,
that's good.
And it's the truth.
Yeah.
And you have to declare some things, right? I could remember, and something that I share with, with clients all the time is, you have to declare that this is the lowest that you'll ever go. I think it was sort of like I had to declare out of my mouth that this was not, what I was created for, was storms and dark clouds and negativity following me everywhere I went. So I had to declare some things, and I had to get off the struggle bus. Next stop, get off the struggle bus,
get up out of the seat.
Take a new path, and because it's there. And you said something too, Dr. Sharita, about resources. Something that I learned too is we never have really a lack of resources. It's literally our lack of resourcefulness. So in many cases, when we're looking for something, we're believing for something, we're feeling like it's negative, it's because we have not gone outside of what we've known to work and fail, but it's creating a new set of rules and tools. So it's becoming more resourceful, because there is no lack of resource. So I just had to throw that in there.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let me say something about resourcefulness. So y'all know,
making something out of nothing.
Problem solving, like whatever you want to call it. So my youngest son, We put lunch money in his account. We put a certain amount in there at the beginning of every month. He knows he's a senior. This has been the case all 4 years. Okay. This money is supposed to last you the entire month. And if you decide you're going to eat a bunch of snacks every day and get double lunches, because the whole school gets free breakfast, so it doesn't have to be breakfast. But you're going to get 2 for lunch. You're going to do this and you're going to do that, and you run out of money before the month is over. You have to use your own money for the rest of it, because I use a budget.
Right.
My budget. Okay. So he started off the year good. Now I put money in his account September 29th for October. I get a notice October 4th, like literally for like 3 or 4 days, that like the account needs to be replenished. So I go in and I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, okay, this boy I'm wondering if he's buying food for other people, like literally. Like,
there's no way, right?
But then I'm also like, why are you eating this much junk food? Like, this is not healthy, right? So we have the whole conversation. I'm like, you got to figure it out for the rest of the month. We in the first week of October. You used I had like $10 left. Like, figure it out for the rest of the month. But there's food here. If you can fix lunch and take it with you, or you can go get some money out your bank account and put it in your account. He does neither. A few days later, I'm like, what have you been taking for lunch? Because I noticed I'm not seeing him cooking anything or anything like that. He's a culinary student. He knows how to cook. So there's no reason for him to go out of the house without any food.
Right.
He said, I packaged up, he has a coin thing he saves. He was like, I packaged up pennies in a pouch and took them and put it in my account. I said, you pennies?
They're like, poor child.
He's like, yeah, he don't see nothing wrong with it. What's going through my mind?
Said, do what you got to do.
You can, like, we broke and don't take care of our kids. That you got to scrounge up pennies. And then just like, and then, like, how come you could just go to the bank and take some money out?
Oh my gosh. Like, he didn't want to use that money either. He didn't want to use that money either.
I'm mad because I'm even though ain't nobody said nothing to me, I'm embarrassed. I can't believe people taking pennies. Like, I know they like,
gosh, that is hilarious.
And how much did these pennies come to?
So he deposited.
It's the 21st.
Deposited like $3 every day for like 4 days. So literally every night he had to be counting out pennies.
I love it.
His pouch and take them. So I text my husband, who's out of town at the time that this is happening. And I'm like, you won't believe what. No, I ain't gonna say his name. So Gary is cracking up laughing. Like,
I know, I got tears. I'm like,
I was like, it is not funny. He was like, that's great problem solving skills.
That's right.
It is. But
however, you said it is, but the reflection on us ain't good.
Exactly. And I'm like, I get it. I was like, yes, he was very resourceful. He was like, well, I got all these coins right here. I don't need to go into my bank account. I'm gonna just take these coins in.
Oh,
and I'm like, there's some other stuff. I was like being lazy, not wanting to cook food and take it with them, and just like all of that stuff. But I was just, it was very resourceful. He got what he needed because he looked at what was around him. What was on
that's right.
Hand, and
that's right.
Out of what was in his hand.
Way to go.
You all right? Are you all right?
The unnamed.
The unnamed
okay, girl.
Out here making it look like we don't feed our kids.
That's wild. I love him for it though.
Oh gosh. That's
so
good.
A 17-year-old can be resourcul.
You. That's sister. Right. That's a good
Absolutely.
lesson.
You, my dear sister, educated, powerful, smart.
Beautiful.
All of that, you got what you need. You got what
That's
you need.
right.
You just need to make some internal shifts so you can start seeing the manifestation of what's inside of you out in the world.
That's right. That's
For
good.
sure. That is. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. I mean, not quite as funny as what we were talking about before the show. But yeah.
Yes, this is safe funny. Yes,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's move on.
All right, so we're going to go on and move to the next segment and introduce our guest today. Denise Taylor is the founder and owner of the Brae Center with a profound vision rooted in empathy and personal transformation. Her journey towards healing and resilience was sparked by her own experiences as a survivor of childhood trauma, physical and sexual abuse. Denise holds multiple degrees and is currently pursuing an MSW, Master of Social Work, from Shippensburg University to further deepen her knowledge and expertise in the field of mental health and well-being. She is also a certified life coach and has cultivated a unique understanding of the importance of support, compassion, and self-discovery in nurturing holistic well-being. Her background in case management, therapeutic support, and life coaching has equipped her with the tools to guide individuals on their journey towards healing and personal growth. Let's welcome to the stage Denise Taylor.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
So, we've had a lot of fun here, but we're going to jump right into
I heard.
We're going to jump right into our topic today. So, with all of your experience, Denise, why don't you talk to us a little bit about seasonal affective disorder? As the seasons are changing and we're getting closer to winter, we wanted to bring this to the attention of our viewers. So, tell us what it is.
Yeah, so I mean, like you mentioned, seasonal affective disorder typically occurs between fall and winter, although it could happen in the summer and spring, but it's less likely because of the abundance of sunlight. So when you take out that factor in, the fall and the winter, we're not getting that sunlight, which, changes our melatonin. It changes the vitamin D that we're getting, and ultimately causes people to go into a depression that extends for that period of time, let alone the stressors of the season, like the holidays and things like that, and the different changes. So that's what it is. And what it looks like is depression, lack of interest, change in appetite, whether it be an increase or a decrease, wanting more sleep, not wanting to really be involved. Yeah.
Thank you. That's good. Because we need that. We need to know.
Sure.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have thought.
Yeah. Even just the idea for this topic was important because I recognized maybe I'll say probably around 8 to 10 years ago, it was sort of like the winters were different for me. And I got to a point where I could recognize this need for sunlight. And it's really weird because I had not heard of seasonal affective disorder at that point in time. But it was just like, I feel like I need to get away in December and January and be like on a beach, just taking in the sun. Like I felt like I needed to be replenished in some kind of way. But didn't have a name for it. But for all my life, it was like, I could hibernate all winter. Like I could literally stay in the house in my bed all winter and be totally satisfied with that. And just know like lower energy levels, mood changes, things like that. Not to a level where it would stop me from living, but there was like just this kind of like undercurrent that it took me years to kind of see the patterns. And then I started to hear about this seasonal affective disorder. And I was like, I might be dealing with that a little, because there's definitely a change as the weather changes. And then I know that, like, I tend to have low vitamin D anyway, which probably does not help in
Yeah.
addition to anything that comes with the season. And I think more of us probably deal with it than we realize, because it's not something you hear a lot of people talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would we know, like, if we are experiencing this versus, general depression or general anxiety or overwhelm? Like, what are the differentiating factors between seasonal affective disorder and other things?
Honestly, the main difference is the length and time, because it looks the same. Honestly, like, depression is depression, anxiety is anxiety. But if you're experiencing it for this only during this specific time of the year, spring pop out and you like, hey, I don't know what that funk I was in,
She
but I'm
back.
out like, I'm ready to do whatever. Then that's when you would know, like, okay, this is a seasonal thing. This is the seasonal thing. Yeah. So time.
That's interesting. So what would someone do? Like, what are some things that we could do to alleviate those symptoms, right? If it's truly seasonal.
Yeah. Well, I would say, depending on what your struggle is during that time. I know I was sharing with Dr. Malika. I had some trauma that took place around the end of August, as well as some other things that had occurred. And for me, I was seeing a peak of anxiety between August 20th, like after my birthday, through like September. And for about 3 years, I was experiencing like severe hospitalizing, like panic attacks. Wow. Because, of the fear of what was happening. And this is always happening at this time. And what I realized, through therapy and God and all those things, was I had to shift my mindset. So I was sharing this with Dr. Malika. So I let that period of time take on a whole new meaning for me. Before it was like, oh, I have 3 boys. School is starting, this and this happened at this time. And every time this time of year, I have a panic attack. Oh my God, I'm gonna have another panic attack. I'm gonna have a panic attack now. Like, so I just re-envisioned my fall. So I became a pumpkin spice latte girl.
Right.
And I would go to Starbucks this fall and I would get into all the fall things. I wanted apple this, pumpkin this, then I'm like, sweaters are great. I need to put on a sweater. They're warm, they're comforting, it's getting darker, but it's okay. I don't need to be outside because I like to be inside. And I just, re-envision it, not a thing of like a dark looming cloud, as the woman, mentioned in her question to you guys earlier, just envisioning it different. And then another thing that I did, because it's between my husband's and I's birthday, we take a vacation. So now I look forward to the end of August and the beginning of September, because I know I'm going away. And, it's going to be for at least 7 days, and I'm going to get the sunlight, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to all the fall things. I'm looking forward to decorating and putting up little, fall things around the house. And my children, they love Halloween. I mean, we don't celebrate it with all the goblins and goblins and whatever, but they certainly like getting their candy and putting on their little Power Rangers or whatever Pokemon costume that they have. So just re-envisioning it is what I did. Yeah.
That's good. All I heard was take a trip.
Yeah, that's important. Self-care is important.
I'm about to look up flights right now. Let me see. Alleviate that right now. Immediately.
But you know what? I think you made a comment. I mean, you shared this and we talked about this earlier. I really do think as women, we underestimate mindset, what we spend time thinking about or the power of reimagining, revisioning, you know, re-envisioning our time frame, right? Identify, you said identify, and then re-envision like how this is going to look for this season or for this time frame that I'm feeling like this. And I think there's so much power in that.
Yeah.
Because you've changed your whole probably household. The spirit of the household and you on the inside, and your stress level has changed because you've re-envisioned how that time frame is going to look for you.
That's good.
Yeah. And acknowledging the beauty of the season, the leaves falling. I would take time to watch the colors changing and the leaves falling and just how beautiful that experience is.
Yeah, that's good.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah. And book the trip.
And book the trip. Book the trip. Book that trip.
But in all seriousness, so let's say the trip is not a viable option. But we know that this is in play because of the change in like the amount of sunlight that we're getting and all of that. What are some like other things that someone could do just to, you know, get that vitamin D, be out in the sun, and just kind of supplement in some other ways?
Yeah, I mean, an option is vitamins. Actually, taking vitamin D. It's actually something very beneficial for Black women to do that. And I would say if you find yourself needing a little extra support around that time, not being afraid to ask for it. So if you realize that's a season in which you need to see a therapist, get yourself a therapist and process through those feelings that you're going through at that time. Surround yourself with friends and loved ones. I mean, if you can't afford to take a trip, it's okay to get some warm blankets and sit in front of the TV. And, you know, or I know one of the things my husband does is he'll put a fake fireplace on the TV for me. And, you know, the lights, because he knows I love to read my books. And I read mostly through Audible books. So it's like, I'll look at that and I'll have my book playing. And, you know, I love a good blanket and I love a good sweater. So, you know, it doesn't always require putting out money if you don't have it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And I just want to note the mention of family and friends. Like, don't go through what you're going through by yourself.
Yeah.
Let them know what's happening. Tell them how they can support you, so that you know they may be able to step in and help get you what you need when you may not even recognize that something is shifting yet. But they're probably picking up on it. And begin to step in and help meet that need for you, and maybe kind of, I want to keep it under control or manageable, so that you're not like on a slippery slope.
Yeah, because sometimes you need people to check in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, just check in, you know, once a month for these next 3 months. Like check in twice a week. You know.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now, so we have one other question for you. And this question we're asking all of our guests this season. What is one trait or characteristic you think every Black woman needs to move to the next level in their life or business? So just one word or one phrase.
Right. Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Oh,
Yes.
That's good. Ooh. Y'all want to know more, don't you? Tell them, Dr. Sharita.
If you want to know more about what Denise has to say about acceptance, you're going to need to subscribe at thecoachesrn.com. Go to our website, fill out the little form that pops up on the page. Once you do that and click submit, you'll be on our email list. We do not spam you. We do not overwhelm you with emails, just so you know. And you will get access to that exclusive content where Denise is sharing more in depth about her thoughts behind why acceptance is the one trait or characteristic every Black woman needs to move to the next level in their life or business. And on occasion, we throw in some extra goodies in there. Our guests might have discount codes or something like that to access their services or products. So the only way you can get those things are by signing up on our website, thecoachesrn.com. Now, Denise, I want you to let our viewers know how they can connect with you and what they would potentially be connecting with you for.
Yes. So at this time, if you're NPA, you can connect with me. I am interning at a private practice called Elevated Mental Health. And under my supervisor's supervision, I would be more than willing to help you. But I am a resourceful person. And so if you find yourself needing a therapist and just not knowing how to get in contact with one where you are, I would be more than willing to help. I have a TikTok page. I'm always posting content now, and I'm trying to just put out information. So it's Denise T Taylor 88 is my TikTok, and so yeah, you can reach me that way or at thebravecenter.com.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you so much, Denise. We appreciate you coming and
Thank
talking
you
with
for
us
having
about
me.
this not talked enough about topic.
Yes.
Demographic.
First time we heard it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. And I
This was
can't
good.
wait to talk about the word
Yes.
acceptance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Yes. Stay tuned. Thank you again, Denise.
Yes, indeed.
All right. That was really good.
That was
Really
good.
good.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think with, topics like, or not topics, but challenges, issues, like things like that, where, like we aren't hearing a lot about it, especially in our demographics. But you're going through these things. You can sometimes just like think something is wrong with you. Like,
Right.
what is going on?
Right.
You don't
Right.
have anything to call it. And we don't like diagnoses, right? But sometimes you need to be able to name whatever this thing is that's happening and how, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling, so you don't feel like you're just going crazy.
Right.
Right.
And
Yes.
like the people who are living with you or having to work with you aren't looking at you like you're
Right.
going
Like, what's wrong with you?
Exactly.
I just need some sun.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
we just need to be educated, which is why I love this show so much, because we've just been educating Black women all season about topics that we don't talk about. And with all the noise on social media and the news, it's really hard to sift through that and get information that's going to feed you and help you to be better, help you to be who you are supposed to be. If you don't know that between this time and this time, you feel inward and you don't know why.
Yeah.
You're irritable. You don't know why, So I love this. So I'm glad she was here to share about that.
For sure.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, we forgot our point of transparency at the beginning of the show, because we do like to share with the audience when we know people and like there's already a relationship there. So
well, yeah, because Denise is a graduate of, we done had some graduates of IUP on this, which says something. It does say a little something about IUP. I'm just saying. But yeah, she's a graduate of IUP, which Dr. Shree and I are graduates of IUP, and I call her my little sister. We call each other sis. And I am her son's godparent, godmother. I'm not a single godmother. There's a godparents, but and their godmother. So
yes.
Good stuff. Good circle.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Now I don't know if it's so much IUP as it is
Victor
the place at Indiana. Yes, that connection.
Yeah.
The church that we all attended. That's probably the thing.
Yeah, that's true. We're just graduates, but yes, we were brought together by a different kind of connection.
Yes. But we do know some
powerhouses.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm
The
just
circle
saying.
is strong.
Yeah.
Yes. So this brings us to the close of this episode. And we want to thank you for joining us, whether again you're watching live or tuning into the replay. We ask that you subscribe on the YouTube channel, like the video, share with your girlfriends, your mamas, your aunties, your daughters, your nieces.
Everybody.
Yes, let them know about it so they can tune in as well. And then next week's episode is, I guess I'll describe it as being a special episode.
Yeah, kind of special, kind of special.
Tell the people what we're gonna be doing. Okay.
Yeah, so we get, we get our viewer questions, but we also get questions from viewers about us. Just like the things they want to know about us. It could be as simple as, how did you become a coach, or we would just want to know like about our businesses. But then sometimes they're more interesting questions just because we do share from our personal experiences as well as our areas of expertise. So sometimes, people want to know a little bit more about the
Right. Right.
What you trying to say? They nosy?
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
All right, we'll see when these questions come out.
Yeah, so we're going to actually do and ask the coaches almost anything. So we're going to be answering some of those questions. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask us about us, you can DM any of us individually on Instagram or Facebook with your questions. Also on the Coaches RN page on Instagram or Facebook, you can DM that page as well. Or you can go to the website, thecoachesrn.com, and go to the contact form and submit your question that way. And we will get through as many of those questions as we can in 30 minutes or less.
Yep.
We'll like, next question.
Yes. The only thing I ask is that you don't judge us based on our responses. We're going to be real.
That's true.
Yes.
Or we just won't answer.
Yeah, how about that? You just won't read that question.
Next question.
Like, yeah, that's too much.
Right.
Or you could disclaim a TMI answer.
Yeah, it might be
TMI.
However,
yeah, that's true.
Like girlfriends.
Yes,
that's true.
All right, so tune in for that next week. And yeah, we'll see you then. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
The coaches are in. When you need a timely, transparent friend, tune into the coaches are in. Talking career, business, health, and wealth. You've got a friend into the coaches are in. With authenticity, come on, let's take a seat and